Let's study the types of vectors. There are two types of vectors. One is polar, another is axial. Polar vectors. Another one is axial vectors. Polar vector means what? Polar vector means it has a starting point or point of application. Okay? Only two things we should keep in memory. It has starting point or a point of application. For example, force, displacement, sorry. It is displacement, it is force. They are polar vectors. It means it has a starting point, okay, or a point of application. Only two things we have to consider. Either it will have a starting point or a point of application. Suppose, and let us see in the case of force, this is a mass, okay, kept on some floor, and we striked it with 25 Newton force. This is the point of application of force. Okay, this is the point of application of force. So force here is, so here force F will be what? It will be called a polar vector. It has a point of application. Okay, it has a point of, suppose there is a string tied with this, and this is what? This is the point of application. The force is applied by a point. Okay, the point we see, this is a polar vector. Okay, and in case of displacement we see what? Suppose a man is standing here. Suppose a man is standing here and he has moved to here. Okay, we see the displacement is 50 meter east. Okay, the displacement has happened 50 meter east, and what we see here, it is what? This is the starting point. This position is the starting point. This is the end point. So in this situation, the vector has a starting point. So this is a polar vector. Displacement is a polar vector. It has a starting point. In force, it has a point of application. So it is a polar vector. In this way, polar vector is categorized. Okay. Now, axial vector. The name suggests it must have some axis of rotation. Okay, it has axis of rotation. The more thing we can say, it represents rotational effect. The vectors which represent rotational effect. Okay, it represent rotational effect. It means it has one axis of rotation. Okay, it has one axis of rotation and it shows rotational effect. What can be the examples? Torque is what? Torque is rotational force. Nothing we should consider. Torque is the rotational effect. Okay, it will have some rotational effect. The axial vectors have rotational effect. Axial vectors act along the axis of rotation. Okay, not only torque but angular momentum, angular velocity, these are also axial vectors. Angular velocity, we know it, we know representation by omega, angular velocity. Angular momentum also, angular momentum. It seems that it is an angular concept. Axial vectors moving in some angle like clockwise or anti-clockwise. Its direction can be according to clockwise or anti-clockwise motion. Clockwise or anti-clockwise. Clockwise and anti-clockwise movement fixes the direction of axial vectors. Okay, thank you.